All right, everyone, here we are with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. And to all the first-time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. And to all the subscribers, welcome back. Now, all I ask for in return is for you guys to smash that like button to let me know you watch this video. It lets me know that you found value in everything that I shared. It helps out the YouTube channel. And to stay tuned on in towards the end of the video, because I have a ticker symbol to share with you guys that you won't want to miss. It's part of the EV sector, and no pun intended, but when you invest in the EV sector, you're investing for tomorrow, right? In the future. So a lot of the opportunities are now before these prices that we see today become higher and higher over time. So you want to do research on these different ticker symbols. So the one I'm about to share with you guys has been pulling back and it has consolidated, and you definitely want to start watching this one moving forward. So stay tuned for all that information. So here we are with Nndm, Nano Dimension stock, and it's been pulling downwards. We're going to look at how ARK Invest has been reacting, how Cathie Wood has positioned herself. Nano Dimensions has been fighting to stay above $9. It's pulling downwards. We're going to have to see if it could stay above it. But Nndm stock still will always look like a great opportunity in the eyes of the investors that believe in it. So I look forward to seeing your guys' rockets down below for the ones that still have that conviction. And where do you see this one going? So I definitely look forward to seeing your guys' comments down below. So here we are with Nndm, and it's been moving kind of sideways since the most recent dip, right? Back in March 16th, 17th, it hit 961, pulled itself back up, and it's almost coming back down to those numbers. So I do want every single investor and viewer to keep that number in mind. 961 moving forward. If it breaks through the support we are about to discuss. So here we are with our 50-day moving average, and that is 1027. Anything below that is bearish. Anything above that is bullish. You want to keep that in mind. We've been in bearish territory since the 18th, and the bulls have been fighting to pull upwards, but the bears keep on tearing it down. So we are in bearish territory, and the bears are dominating. And if they break through support, they're gaining more leverage. So we're sitting at 989 right now post-market, and our support is 984. If that gets broken through, you want to watch this carefully. How quickly is it moving to newer lows, and how is it reacting between that point and 961? And you can also use this point here as a midway point, which is 974, to see even more closer and dissect the chart as much as possible within these support levels to see if the bulls are reacting. Now your resistance level here is 1009. If that gets broken through, I do want every single investor and viewer to be aware that that point right there is just a point of reference for us investors to know where the stock is heading and if the bulls are building momentum upwards, but it does not signify or guarantee that the bulls have gained control. They gain control until they break through 1027, the 50-day moving average, and pull away from it upwards into bullish territory. But the first stepping stone is this resistance, and it's an indicator for us investors to know where the stock is heading, which 1009 is the first resistance that needs to be broken through and turn into a support within bearish territory for the bulls to pull upwards. So let's go ahead and see how ARK Invest has reacted from Friday to today. So here we are with ARQ on the 19th. They had 6,961,943 shares. And today in ARQ for the 22nd, they have 6,953,282 shares. They went down a little bit. I look forward to seeing your guys' thoughts on that. I mean, it's such a small position of change that I believe it's just repositioning their whole entire portfolio and everything when it comes to ARQ. Let's go ahead how I went and see on ARKW. So ARKW, right, on the 19th, ARKW, they have 5,720,000 shares, 895 in total. And we are here with ARKW today, and this is where it gets interesting because they sell on some and they buy on others. ARKW on the 22nd, 5,726,918. So when you look at the difference, they went up about 6,000 here. And when you look at the difference from here to here, they went down like 7,000, almost 8,000. So they're repositioning on one end and they're buying on the other end. So when I see this type of mix up, it shows me that they're repositioning here, and on the other stock portfolio, right, ARKW, which is their other ETF, they're buying more. So that's how bullish they still are. They're just positioning themselves to leverage in different areas and take advantage of other opportunities. But at the end of the day, when I still see buying, and even though there is some selling and it's such a small amount, it lets me know how bullish Cathie Wood ARK Invest is in Nndm stock, Nano Dimension. So Nano Dimension has potential. It still makes me feel very, I guess, positive on the outlook of how ARK Invest is positioning themselves, how they're holding on strong, and how they do buy more when the stock is going up. When it kind of just stagnates and goes sideways, they sometimes hold or start selling, or they sell in one ETF and they buy in the other. So it still shows me how they feel and what they see, which is, like I've always said, when they're buying at these levels, it's because they see beyond what we see and beyond what the charts have shown us, which is that upward momentum in the future. I mean, when you're investing in Nano Dimensions as well, like I said earlier about the EV sector, you're buying into the future. It's the same thing. This is future and innovation, and Nano Dimensions has a product that is going to change the game when it comes to building circuit boards, building phones, building, semiconductors, just everything in general. And then their acquisition opportunities. I mean, yeah, Nano Dimensions has a shot here to become a pretty powerful company, especially with all the cash on hand that they currently have to go ahead and fund their different ventures to expand and grow. I look forward to seeing everyone's thoughts down below. As always, guys, if you learned something new, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to click on the bell to not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community, and don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watch this video. Stay tuned till the end because I have a ticker symbol you won't want to miss, and you definitely want to have it on your watch list. Alright everyone, here we are with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. And to all the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. And to all the subscribers, welcome back. And all I ask for in return is for you to smash that like button to let me know you watch this video, and stay tuned on in for all that we have to cover. Let's jump right into it. So I have here the website to ChargePoint CHPT stock, and I definitely recommend every single viewer and investor to go check it out. It'll tell you much more information on the company, but I love their slogan right here. The electric revolution is here, and that is so true. It is here. It's just getting started, and you want to be aware that when you're investing in the EV sector, whether it's the cars or the charging stations, you're investing in the future. So it's going to take time to see your returns really grow to their full potential. Now, a lot of investors will look at this chart and say, well, we're sitting at $24 and it hit a high here of $50. Yeah, it hit a high there because of the speculation and hype because of the merger. This is a SPAC merger. You always want to remember that. But Charging Point has an opportunity to get a market share and a piece of the pie of the bigger picture. So I mentioned this one over at the Patreon this weekend, and this is what I said. And if you guys want to know what stocks I'm watching weekly, you can join us over at the Patreon. It will be down below, the link in the comments section. It will be the pinned comment that I'll have there down below. So I basically said everyone focuses on the EV car makers, but forget to focus on the source that can give the EV cars the fuel and drive it needs to perform its purpose, which are charging stations. ChargePoint is one to watch, especially that we saw it in the most recent pullback, how it reached below $20. It reached $19. I posted about a snapshot of the chart, which you can see up here. If it can reach below those numbers or touch them again, it will be something to pay close attention to. ChargePoint is not the industry leader, but it will get its piece of the pie when it comes to the market share in charging stations. Okay, that's going to be a big deal in the future. This is the future gas stations. You always want to remember what is going to give the fuel to these EV cars, and it's these charging stations. Yes, you can charge from home, but charging stations will charge cars much faster, and as batteries get more improved and developed, they're going to become so much better that you can actually stop at a charging station and not feel like you're stuck there for 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Now, this is my question to those of you that own an EV car or know someone that owns an EV car. And I want to ask you guys, how dreadful is it to stop at a charging station right now in these times? I know people that have stopped and then they do like little, stories on their Instagram or Snapchat, and they go ahead and they post, man, we all hate ourselves, or like they post something like just being sarcastic, and it's a whole line of Teslas at a Tesla charging station just waiting for their cars to charge, which takes about 30 minutes to 40 minutes. When charging stations can start charging in 5 to 10 minutes, it's going to change the game. And not only that, but people charge at home because they have time to charge at home, because they go to work, they come back, they leave it charging overnight, and at some point that's going to get kind of redundant and it won't be necessary anymore. When charging stations will be out there, you can just stop and get your 5-minute charge, and it's going to give you enough for the next day or next 2 days instead of charging slowly at home. And it's just going to be a shift. There's going to be a transition once batteries get improved, charging stations get improved, and the time becomes less and less. It's just going to be so much more convenient than having to charge overnight. And especially if you're traveling, it's going to be so much more convenient. So that's going to be a big deal. ChargePoint is going to have a piece of its pie. So definitely check out the website. That is one thing I do recommend, so you could see everything about it. And I also want to pull up here another picture of a screenshot that I took. And a lot of people would probably be a little bit concerned about their financials. And that's why I stated earlier, this is where you need to realize that you are investing, right, in the future. And ChargePoint is an electric vehicle infrastructure company based in Campbell, California. ChargePoint operates the largest online network of independently owned EV charging stations operating in 14 countries and makes the technology used in it. So, I want you guys to be aware that they're the largest online network, but they're not the largest charging stations, okay? There's other companies that it's competing with, but like I said, it's going to get its piece of the pie. The financials right now will never look so strong because, like I said earlier, how many people do you guys know that feel that dreadfulness when it comes to charging their cars? Now, my other question is, how many people do you know that own an EV car? Do you own an EV car? And that's where you got to realize that you're investing in something that hasn't even maximized its potential yet. It's just getting started. So this is the time to start watching this stock. I mean, the closer it gets anywhere below $20, the more attractive I believe it looks. This does have potential. We already saw it reach up to 50. It can, for all that, it can probably break out through that in the near future. But, one thing is you need to be prepared to always believe that you're investing in the future. You're not investing in now. You got to think about how many people own cars and how many people need charging stations right now. But then you also got to think, well, how many people will own EV cars and will need charging stations, not now, but later. And that's where you're going to find out why this has so much potential. And this is definitely a stock you need to have on your watch list moving forward. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.